Hello YouTube, I'm vlogging. This is actually my second take. My first take I tried to use the webcam software on the browser and was let down yet again. I don't know why I keep trying. But it's very late and I just wanted to do a quick vlog. I just got out of a queue for looking for raid on WoW and got my helm, got some gloves for my monk, and I'm very excited about patch 5.4. If you hadn't seen my recent vlog, then you would know that, or you wouldn't know that. I talked about patch 5.4 in the trailer. The trailer was just epic, in my opinion. I can't wait to get up into the actual raid when it launches and finally take down Garrosh Hellscream. The writers and the developers of the game have done a great job in making us hate him, and our bloodlust for him will be, I believe, finally satisfied when we have his head on a pike. Hopefully in Orgrimmar. I don't honestly. I don't know. I don't know how that'll turn out. I really wish they would kind of go that way, kind of how you would slay a dragon and have his, they'd have his head displayed either in Stormwind or in Orgrimmar, and you gotta, you know, region-wide buff for it into stamina or whatnot. I think it was Onyxia and Neltharion, the dragons you slayed to get that. But anyway, it would be, I think it would be a pretty cool idea for them to do that for Garrosh Hellscream's head. Um, so, with that said, when patch 5.4 launches, they're going to be taking away the weekly quests out in the Barrens. And they're finally going to have, obviously the siege on Orgrimmar. Vol'jin's going to be leading the attack, so that's exciting. I mean, very exciting. I've always been a big fan of Vol'jin. I think he's done a lot. The lore of him is just solid, almost as much so as Thrall. So that's really cool. I haven't gotten on the PTR for a few reasons, mainly because I have grown to love this expansion so much as the Lich King expansion on a lot of levels. And if I get on the PTR, I know that I'm going to want to take down Garrosh Hellscream. And so I want my first time to be on the live realm because that's how much it means to me. Now, with that said, I have recently joined a new guild. I left Amber's guild on my monk. I got what I wanted to get from her guild and what I wanted to give to her guild, which was level 90 Dwarf Monk, part of the class achievement, as well as help level it a little bit. I hit Exalted, so I was able to add a little bit of experience to their bar. So I got that done, and I recently joined another guild that's casual raiding and light on PvP. I've actually been kind of disappointed because I've been trying to get a few old friends back into WoW, and so has Amber, but there's been no activity on that front. So I'm kind of in a stalemate, and I'm really hungering for a little bit more activity, PvE and PvP wise. So I'm hoping I can find it in this guild. Who knows? Now, with that said, I'm not going hardcore. I just want a little bit, just something to tide me over every so often. Maybe raiding one night, not like all weekend or whatnot, because I got way too much going on to be able to get into it hardcore like I used to. So anyway, that's exciting. I'm waiting to hopefully get into the beta for the new Final Fantasy Realm Reborn coming out. I'm very excited about that. I've been looking at some great reviews for it. One of my employees actually got an invite to the beta, but they haven't been able to play it. Grr. And I'm also looking at WildStar. WildStar is looking terrific. I can't wait for that. Now, on a secondary note, the PlayStation 4 finally has a launch date confirmed, which is November 15th. Now, for a long time, I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but I've considered myself a PlayStation fanboy. Now, I'm not a hardcore Rabid fanboy. I won't get up in your face and tell them they're the best in the world and that all they touch is gold, because it's not. It's not true. The last generation was kind of what I believe to be a downhill for them, just because the PlayStation 3 was pretty expensive, so it was very hard for them to stay at the top of the mountain. Xbox pretty much ruled that scene for a while. But given the current months, the current last 3 or 4 months, Microsoft has pretty much lost that ground a whole lot. I'm very excited about the PlayStation 4 price of $399, which is great. Now, with that said, I will not be buying one right out the gate. I'll be giving it a few months and then purchasing one. I want them to get all the bugs worked out. Working in the industry, as long as I have, and with my job now, even as long as I've been gaming, you learn eventually that you don't want to buy the very first generation because they're always going to have bugs. You're always going to have problems. You're going to either have to send it in or take it back and get another one. But with that logic in mind, if there were not people to buy the first generation, and if everybody held out, that would be a very bad thing because you got to think about it. If nobody bought the first generation, then there would be no reciprocating to be able to develop other generations because they wouldn't have developed or gotten any payback from investing into the first generation. So you see my point. But personally, I will not be buying the first one. I probably will be buying a new one, however. Most of my gaming tends to come from used games, which is obviously what I deal in as part of my job. So I get a good deal on them. And but as far as the new generation of systems go, I'll definitely be buying a new one because $399 is a very decent price for a brand new system, especially a PlayStation 4. And I definitely look forward to it. I look forward to Watch Dogs. It's looking terrific. That's about one of the only games right now I'm really looking forward to, PlayStation 4 wise. PlayStation 3 wise, obviously the re-release of Kingdom Hearts 1.5, Final Fantasy X and X-2. I'm getting that combo pack for PS3 and PlayStation Vita. And I'm finally able. I'm glad I'm able to say that I have both the standard console and a handheld console because it feels good to be able to say that because it means that I'm a little bit more financially stable to be able to acquire those. And it's not something that will affect me in the long run. So that's one of the greatest things I can say that I've achieved in the last year or so, that I'm finally equaled out to where I can be where I want to be and get a few small things that I want to get. Now, with that said, the near future is going to be a little bit rough. There's some things I need to get. New dentures, for one. The story behind that is just a falafel. I left them out on the couch while I went to go do something. I come back, I see the dog running off into the room, all ashamed of something. I was like, he must have pooped. I go into the living room, and my teeth are snapped in half. He had grabbed them, there were teeth marks in them, and they had snapped. So, my fault on his part, and on his fault as well. So, we're both to blame. At first, obviously, I was very pissed about it because, $800-900 aesthetic. And it's ruined. So luckily I still have my backups. So, it's good to know. So that's something I'm going to have to get. I'm also going to have to get a couch. Hopefully, aside from that, there won't be a whole lot more that I have to get. After that point, I've got to start saving towards the wedding and towards the honeymoon. So that's pretty much what the near future holds. Aside from hopefully, being able to scratch something off my bucket list, which is going to a Weird Al concert. A lot of people have smiled at me when I tell them this, but I like Weird Al. I mean, it's when I told them I'm going to a concert of his, they're just like, "What? Really?" I was like, "Yes, he's just a creative guy," and I think it would be awesome to say, "Oh yeah, I went to a Weird Al concert," but because he's getting older, he's getting older, and there's going to come a day, probably in the next, God forbid, but probably in the next 20 years, when the man is going to probably pass away, and I'm just going to be glad I could say that I at least had a chance to see him in concert. He's not exactly one of the most world-renowned artists, like Beatles or Bono or something like that. But he's in his own realm of his own right. He's up there to me with Richard Cheese, actually higher than Richard Cheese. Yeah, yeah, definitely higher than Richard Cheese. But he's just such a great, great funny guy, and I think it'll be really cool. So anyway, yeah, PS4 release date November 15th, price of $3.99. I can't wait for that. Looking at WildStar, looking at the new Final Fantasy coming out. I got my Monk to 90, got him at a 575 item level, waiting for a patch of 5.4. Siege of Orgrimmar. Just got into a new guild, left Amber's Guild on good terms, and working towards some things in the near future. So that's a breakdown. I'm going to bed, but I hope you have a great day. And remember that you, yes, you, the person looking at me right now, are a great person. See you later.